What's up guys, TC here and welcome back to our Starbound Vault Run series, and today we are taking on an ice vault. So this is episode 2 in the series and I'm really excited to kind of continue it on. I haven't done anything like this in a while. It's kind of a sort of like a let's play, but yeah, I want to point out, so my loadout for this one, they're going to be roughly the same for all of these vaults for the most part. This one I think I carried a little bit different food on me. I always try to vary up my weapons. Just make sure whatever gun you bring, make sure it's always like not the type of that vault. So like I didn't bring any ice guns or ice weapons for this ice vault because you're going to encounter mostly ice monsters in these ice vaults, and just like you encounter mostly electric monsters in electric vaults. So never bring the same type of weapon as the type of vault. And you should be okay. It's really, you don't need super effective damage all the time. You just can't afford to have resisted damage because that'll get you killed real quick. But anyways, I want to talk about some fun stuff. I've been exploring a lot with this new update. I've actually had a little bit of time off to actually make some videos, so that's been really fun to actually get to dedicate some more time to it. I did come across, oh man, it was crazy. I thought I had like encountered all of the basically different boss attacks that you could encounter and different like types of guardian bosses, but I encountered one yesterday that really threw me off. I had to look up how to beat it, and I don't know, you guys might have encountered it. It really frustrated me at first because there's no way to really tell what to do or how to beat it. But in case you encountered it, I figured I'd just let you know now. Most of them aren't that hard. Like, yeah, some of them have a ton of health. Some of them have like a shield you got to break. But I encountered one yesterday that seemed to have a shield that you could not break. Like, it didn't matter how much you shot it, what you hit it with, nothing would break it. Like, you couldn't hit it with like any weapons in the dungeon. And I sat there for like 15 minutes trying to beat it, and finally I just put myself in admin mode so I could like study or research how to do this, and eventually I found out what it is. And I've only encountered it once, but it really threw me off. But it's basically the boss he's undamageable to normal damage. Like, his shield won't break, except every now and then he'll spawn in 4 little guardians, and after you kill all 4 of those guardians, it will leave a little it leaves a little bitty projectile that charges up and shoots at you, and you have to steer that projectile into the boss, and that's the only way to break a shield. Otherwise you could hit him with 10 million damage and it won't kill him. So you have to use that little projectile. He spawns in 4 little minions, and you've got to use all 4 of those minions. Like, after you kill all 4 of them, a little projectile will spawn, charge up, and it'll aim at you, and you have to kind of aim it so it hits the boss, and that'll break his shields. But man, it like really threw me off because there's no I had only encountered it this one time, and it doesn't really give you any kind of other way. Like, it doesn't tell you how to do it, so I was just like really confused. I figured in case you guys encounter it, it was really frustrating for me, and I feel like I'm, pretty in the know on this game, so I figured I'd at least let you guys know. But anyways, I've been trying to brainstorm on some future video ideas, and you guys are really useful when it comes to, give me like ideas and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of people say, oh, I should continue the custom weapon creations. And while they are fun, I really feel like I've exhausted a lot of it, and I don't want to bring you guys kind of crappy content. Like, yeah, I could force a custom creation weapon out, but it wouldn't. I just feel like I only want to make one if I know I can make something that's really useful. So I don't want to, like, waste your time or make a subpar video that's not that great. So I've been trying to think, and also I've had a lot of people saying I should redo the pets, and I just don't know if the pets are really that worth it because most of the pets, really, let's be honest, anyone who's played this game, only a few of the pets are actually worthwhile. And most of the ones on the last video that I did, while a couple of them have changed since that update, I don't think it's enough to really justify a new video. And if they continue if we get more pets at some point, then obviously I'll start doing it. Like, I was hoping we could capture those the minions that the boss spawns in, but yeah, you can't capture those guys either, so it doesn't really help with adding some variety to it. But I was considering, because, like, Starbound is kind of, it's not at the end of its lifespan. Like, it's still, they're probably going to update the game at least one more time, I think. But I can't see the game going on, like, with, like, indefinite updates, kind of like how Minecraft is. So I've been trying to think of a new game to get into, but I do like, I like these 2D side-scrollers kind of like this. And obviously the only one that really, the first one that comes to mind other than this is Terraria. And I've actually never played Terraria. Surprisingly to most people, this is my first like real game like that. So I've been debating if I want to get into it. I'm not really sure, like, how many people out there are already playing Terraria, or how much it will be useful. I did see one that was coming out. I don't know enough about it. I want to do a little bit of research. I think it's called Terraria Otherworld. It's going to be brand new. I think it's like some kind of spin-off of the old one. And I wouldn't mind jumping into that because I don't want to just jump into Terraria because, there's already 100 YouTubers out there doing Terraria. and there are already a ton of videos. So anything I come up with or create or anything like that, quite frankly, it's probably already going to have been discovered, and I'm not really going to be able to bring too much to the table on that. But with a brand new game, something like Terraria Otherworld, I might actually be able to bring something new to the table. But again, I'd have to. What I might just kind of buy Terraria, beat it, put a few like random episodes out of me playing it, just so I can get a feel for Terraria, because I know Terraria plays different than Starbound. I've had a lot of people tell me that Starbound's more about exploration and building, whereas Terraria is more about combat. So I wanted to, you know, at least play it a little bit before I, you know, get my feet wet into that brand new Terraria Otherworld game. Although I don't know when it is going to come out. I'm assuming it's going to come out sometime in this like next couple of months, I would hope. But we'll see. I'll do a little bit of research in it. I'm not sure what else other like videos there are, but it's just been, I don't know, what other kind of video games I can get into, because I like video games like this. I like games where I can, you know, use like creativity. I can create stuff, and I don't like Minecraft was like one of my first loves for like video games like that, where you could like really like a sandbox feel to it, where you could do whatever you wanted, and there was hardly any limitation. But now, you know, there's 10 million YouTubers out there doing Minecraft, and so it's kind of a really oversaturated market, and I kind of want to get into something new. You know, I've already played the crap out of Minecraft. I used to play on a server all the time. Like, that was the only thing I did every day after school was play on Minecraft all day. So yeah. But anyways, I've been looking like for what to get into, and I really would, I don't know, if you, I mean, I've asked this question over and over again in some of my old videos, and you guys have been pretty helpful. I'm trying to think. I actually had a list written down somewhere, but I think Terraria is probably going to be the best way to go. I think there's actually 2 Terraria sequels. There's like a Terraria 2, and I think there's like Terraria Otherworld, which is like I think it's a spin-off. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna work my way around to it. With Starbound, I'm kind of reaching my rope's end on what I can do, you know. Like, I have a few ideas for some stuff, but it won't be enough to extend the life of the channel indefinitely. And I'm not sure if I can just do Let's Plays forever, you know. Like, I don't know if I have like the talkability to just talk about something brand new every day. But I'd love to be able to get into stuff like this. If I could keep playing, if Starbound would keep getting updated, obviously I could keep doing it. But I just don't know how long the game is going to be updated. Moving on, trying to think of something interesting here. I'm not really sure where to go forward from here. I've got 1 or 2 more. I think I've got 1 invention video, and I think I've got 1 more tips video that I want to get put out. I'm going to try to schedule them over Christmas, because I won't be able to put out videos or make new videos during Christmas break, but I will be able to make a few before and schedule them, so at least I'll be able to get some content coming out. That does bring me to my next question, though. I really wanted to, like, I've been thinking, like, what is the future of Starbound? Like, what's the next direction they're gonna go? You know, like, what do you think the next direction they're gonna go? Because I don't think anyone really saw like these ancient vaults coming in, like, whenever you, like, when the game first came out, we knew there were gonna be updates coming out, but we didn't really know where they're gonna go next. So I was wondering what you guys think they're gonna do for the next update. For me, honestly, I don't know. I always love stuff that like extends the post game, because that's honestly where you spend most of your time. If you really think about it, a game like Starbound, you spend a majority of your time post game. Like, yeah, you spend a lot of time beating the game, but once you've beat the game, you have to use a lot of mechanics and stuff like that. There's a lot of you spend a majority of your time in the post game. So for me, the 2 areas I think I'd like to see is, for one, I would love to see movement into like mechs and vehicles, stuff like that, like mining vehicles, small mechs and suits you can wear. I'd love to see like an aerial vehicle, some kind of like VTOL, like a vertical takeoff and landing. That type of thing would be really cool, like some kind of little hovercraft that would allow you to fly, you know, fly up to your spacecraft. A submarine is one we don't have, surprisingly. I thought we'd have a submarine by now. So I'd love to see some vehicles, although I do understand, because I remember a post from Ty about how they didn't really add the vehicles because they didn't feel they actually, or well, mostly mechs. Like, they didn't add any new mechs. Like, I think they were talking about it, you know, when the game first kind of released, and then they kind of realized that the mechs don't cooperate very well with Starbound's. The generated terrain isn't very friendly with the way mechs work. You know, it's really easy for them to get stuck in that generated terrain because it's not very smooth, and the mechs kind of need that. So unless they can figure out like a happy medium for the mechs, I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, or if they'll ever explore it or finish it. Now, the other direction I'd like to see would be something kind of along the lines of like like automation. You know how Minecraft's got like pistons that push stuff? I think that really extends the life of a game because there's just so much you can do with it. Once you allow things to be automated in a way, even if they're complex and complicated, people are gonna, you know, spend a lot of time making these automated complex farms. So I really hope they kind of push into that, like you know, things that can push and pull blocks, little hoppers. And I use a lot of like Minecraft references because that's really the only reference I have for that kind of stuff. I wouldn't know what to call them, but you know, little collection bins that can collect drops, ways to push and move blocks around, ways to kind of automate killing mobs, or even ways to automate farming and stuff like that. I would appreciate stuff like that. Maybe like you kind of have both. Maybe like a vehicle that can, what is it, like harvest a bunch of crops, or a vehicle that can, what is the word, till a bunch of soil. Because right now tilling soil is really annoying with just the hoe. Like it goes really, really slowly. So I wouldn't mind a vehicle like that. A mining vehicle would be really cool. I know, what is it, Terraria had some kind of crazy update recently where it had this like orb that's like, you see, it looks like it's giving off like electricity, and it like kind of moves around the ground and mines stuff. That thing looks really cool. Like that looks like something that could be in Starbound. But I'd love to see like a mining vehicle, a mining mech maybe, something like that. A way to kind of like an in-game way to mine and you know, dig huge amounts of ground up and stuff like that. Because I think a lot of people don't realize just how much time you spend in the post game, and you got to find reasons to spend your pixels, reasons to spend your essence, you know. So I think that adds a lot to it. And the automation would be a big thing. Like Starbound's already got a decent amount of automation when you really think about it with the wiring, like with how much you can wire and how much you can do. It's really just missing some key components. Like once you allow us to move blocks around and collect drops automatically, that drastically opens up the door. Like opens up the door to a lot of new things. Give us a way to, some kind of like a device that can kill monsters that touch it, you know? Because right now, all the traps only damage you. There are no traps in the game that you can really use outside of like a lava pit that'll damage monsters. So if they gave us a way to kind of like actually damage monsters, some kind of trap we could place, then I think that would really open up some automation. Then obviously give us a way to collect those drops. I think that would give us a lot of great stuff. Maybe a way to like harvest crops somehow, water them somehow automatically. Because you can, like already right now, like the sprinklers are a nice way to water them, but still you have to go through and collect them all manually. And that's why you got to make the automation kind of an in-game thing. End game thing. I had so many people comment the other day because I wasn't enunciating the end. Now, so it sounded like I was saying, oh yeah, you do this in game. So yeah, lesson learned. That one in ancient, which I've been saying wrong my whole life, is ancient. So yeah, that's what I'd like to see. I'd love to hear what you guys would want to see, and I don't know what, like, I'm not sure when the next update is going to be, how long it's going to be before they start updating. I know they just released this one, so it could be a while. I don't know. It's going to depend if they, how big of a team they're going to leave behind to continue work on it, and what they think the next course of action should be. I know, who is it? There's one person on the team, I forgot who it was. He was a really big modder, and they basically added him to the team, and he made one of the big automation mods. I think they added like pipes and stuff like that. And pipes would be big too. If you could pump items and water and any kind of liquid around, that kind of stuff adds a whole bunch of, like, that's just more automation. That's more stuff we can really use. So yeah, I think it will be a big benefit to move into the automation. But I'd love to hear what you guys think we should kind of go into, because I don't think anyone really expected terraforming to be what this next update was going to be about. But here we are at the end of this boss, and I'm not sure what this one did, what this one's like main attacks were yet as I go back, because I've already actually beaten all the bosses. I'm just kind of doing some post-com on each one, making sure I have the right weapons here. Yeah, so this is the, what is it, the ice one? Yeah, so I'm making sure I'm using a fire just to guarantee it doesn't resist. So this is one of the ones that has the buttons on the wall, so you have to damage him with the buttons. And oh yeah, I remember this. This dude, this is the first time I had encountered this laser thing he does. So you see me get wrecked by it a couple times. But yeah, he kind of bounces around with the little pogo thing. When he bounces in the middle, you have to hit those little buttons on the wall. So yeah, this little thing here kept messing me up. I didn't quite learn how to dodge it until near the end of the video, so you'll see me kind of get wrecked repeatedly. Here I'm trying to outrun his little pogo stick. And as long as you time it right, you can get him with those spikes. It's not that bad. That knocks his shields down, and you can do a ton of damage. But again, the hardest ones, man, are the ones that just have a boatload of health, and the ones that have that basically unbreakable shield that you have to use his minions to break. That one really messed me up. Yeah, right here's where I sort of figured out, okay, so that's how you kind of dodge this a little bit. I wanted to, man, I really wanted to get some of the boss attacks onto weapons. If I could if I could get like that bouncing laser they have, or some of the crazy stuff that they do with the boss attacks, if I can get those onto guns, obviously I can make a ton of great custom creation weapons and stuff like that. But the thing is, they're actually just boss abilities, so they're not the same as a projectile. You can't just force them to come out of a gun. So, yeah, but this is this is probably, I'd say this is like a medium difficulty boss. The ones that just have a ton of health, those are the ones that are really difficult. I had one, man, I swear, it was actually really crazy. He had this he had a ton of health, but every now and then this little power-up would spawn, and you could, if you would jump in the power-up, it would like give you like a 10 times damage boost, and that would allow you to like chip his health down, but you didn't get it very often, so it was really, really hard to beat him. This little ice ball thing he bounced around is pretty cool, though. I've seen one that did like 2 or 3 at once, so that thing's really powerful, but we are really getting close to knocking this guy out. There we go. So yeah, we've taken him out, and that's going to wrap up the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.